Hey guys, it's here. Yesterday, at the time of the recording of this video, Game Loaded Entertainment uploaded a video showcasing a tech demo of a version of the game known as GEN4. GEN4 features a complete overhaul of the game, similar to Resurgence, however it appears to be in a much more polished state. As Administrator Nar said, we learned our lesson with Resurgence. In the opening of the video, a message is displayed, which hints at a zombie mode, which apparently will be a survival one, so we are likely to see something similar to BRM5's gameplay. The UI of the action menu has been revamped with a sleeker look, but still has the same base features: squads, emotes, and medical. However, a new feature for squads have been implemented: public and private squads. Public squads work the same as always, being able to choose a color team that are publicly available. However, players can create squads and manage them, such as inviting and kicking other players. Flare markers appear to be completely removed from the menu. This may change in the future, but it is not showcased in the video at all. A map feature has been added to the game, similar to Arma. There are grid lines with numbers, and the map can be zoomed in and out and interacted with. Players can create waypoints, which are placed based on the center of the screen, with 6 different symbols available. There are arrows in each cardinal direction, a circle with an arrow bouncing off the center, and a plus. Waypoints are squad-based, so only players in the same squad may see each other's waypoints. In the map, a players and tab setting can be seen at the top of the screen. The players tab is self-explanatory, and we'll go over settings in a second. When a player has the map open, plays the animation of a character holding a phone, which resembles a phone with a juggernaut case, otherwise commonly known as an A-tag. The option menu is pretty much the same, with graphics and sound options. However, there is a keybuttons page, which will allow players to fully customize their setup in BRM5. Helicopter keybuttons can also be seen as configurable. The vehicle request portal is also seeing a complete overhaul. The UI has the same base design, but again, looks much sleeker. Users can now modify currently existing vehicles instead of, like before, having to sell and purchase a new vehicle to make any modifications. Making modifications to the vehicle, if cheaper, will refund the player, or players can sell modifications instead for what appears to be a certain percentage of the price difference. Purchasing vehicles is pretty much the same as before, but instead players can preview the vehicle and make modifications to it before purchasing it. In the preview for this, a roof option can be seen for the Humvee, a new vehicle, the FMTV, and a new Alpine camo. Though it's not gone into depth or anything, an inventory keybind can be seen in the bottom right corner. I'm not going to try to speculate what it will consist of, but it's just food for thought. A character rework has been discussed and mentioned many different times, and this video now showcases what it will consist of. In the video, we can see animation for movement has had a complete overhaul, and now players can slide. Directional movement is much smoother and more realistic, as well as having proper transitions between animations. Sliding can be seen in the demonstration, and it appears to only be to travel a short distance. Unfortunately, dolphin diving, a mechanic that used to be in the game, seems to not be returning. The uniforms have been completely overhauled, and the resolution is nearly doubled. They will now match the camouflage present on gear, and cuts will have a more consistent style with one another, along with being more accurate to their real-life counterparts. There isn't a lot to say about the uniforms. However, a Cryo Precision G3 combat uniform and multicam is present in the showcase. For comparison, a helmet cover is seen with a matching camouflage. I've worked on the uniforms myself, however I do want to give a massive shout out to 15 Taylor, or KitKat, because he has helped me immensely with the making of these uniforms. Weapon reworks were showcased at the end of the video, however I'm going to supply some alternative images and go in depth into this. Similarly to the AR-15, the SCAR platform will be receiving an entire overhaul. So far, MB Sniper has posted several images of the platform. Alongside the model rework, we will be receiving the SCAR SSR, and according to this message from this Discord server, the SSR will arrive alongside some new stock options post-initial update. This image features various handguard extensions available for the SCAR. Thus far, MB has mentioned that all will be available on both L and H models. Prototype SCAR SSR handguard extension. Kinetic Development Group MLOC MREX 4.25-inch version. Primary Weapon System SCAR rail extension, otherwise known as the SRX. Although not related to the SCAR, tangled down rail covers can be seen on some images of the SCARs. With the AR-15 and SCAR platforms, the AK platform is due for the rework. MB Sniper has completely remodeled the platform alongside some new AKs. We will be getting the AK-74M, AK-103, AK-101, AK-105, AKS-74UN, and the RPK-74M. There are no photos of the RPK-74M as of now, but MB briefly mentioned it as one of the weapons coming post-update, alongside the T's secret AKs, which were mentioned once and seen in a screenshot of a development Trello. Several new attachments have been showcased thus far, with every AK except for the AKS-74UN being able to share them besides the stocks. I won't be going over basic or default attachments. Strelic VS24 plus VS33. Zenitco B10M plus B19. Zenitco B10M plus Ultimac M1B gas block. Zenitco B30 plus B31S. Zenitco B33 dust cover. Zenitco B13 dovetail mount. The SRVV adapter with the CTR stock, and a Zenitco PT1 stock. The AKS-74UN has also received some extra attachments. Zenitco B11 handguard, as well as a B11 combined with a B12, and a Zenitco B18 optic mount. Here's some muzzle devices that have been seen in the leak so far. Zenitco DTK1, Zenitco DTK2, an Arsenal 4-piece flash hider, otherwise known as a Bulgarian flash hider, and an SRVV muzzle brake. Alongside all these weapon reworks, we are going to see the addition of the M240 machine gun. It'll be available in two different variants, the M240 Lima and the M240 Hotel. As of now, the M240s will be vehicle mounted, the Hotel for helicopters and Lima for ground vehicles. However, in the future, eventually, we will get the M240 Lima for ground personnel. Vehicles are seeing a variety of new additions, primary quality of life features. Prevent a million different keybinds, an interaction menu is present, which can be accessed directly from the regular action menu. First, players can control various lights on the vehicle. Headlights, turn indicators, and hazard lights are also available. Users are also able to turn on and off the vehicle's engine, and smoke can be seen rising out of the exhaust pipe in the left of the Humvee. Two other buttons can be seen very briefly, turret and doors buttons, which allow for the enabling and disabling of turrets and the remote opening and closing of doors, respectively. Alongside this, NAR briefly mentioned on the Discord server that all vehicles have been completely reprogrammed, which means that vehicle handling will most likely be different and heavily improved. NAR also mentioned that turrets will be improved, so we'll be seeing reload animations for them and they'll be more stable during flight in helicopters. We can also see that the Humvee is much larger when compared to a person. It can be assumed that the rest of the vehicles will also be rescaled to a more realistic size. We'll also be receiving a new variant of the Humvee, the M998 HMMWV. There are various customization options for it, primarily being able to change the back of the Humvee. From left to right in this image, it goes as such: stock, canopy, armored, and open troop carrier. The M1126 Stryker will also be receiving a revamp. In the image, you can see that it has a proper driver's hatch rather than a large window, which is more accurate to the real-life model. Speaking of vehicles, we'll also be receiving a DCL-120 for the M2 Browning on vehicles. The community has been asking for white phosphor tubes for a while at this point, and recently, 15 Taylor has confirmed that white phosphor tubes will be available for night vision goggles. Of course, you'll have to pay extra for them. NAR also mentioned mobile support, saying that the game works on mobile, though the intended platform is specifically for tablets, as the UI for phones would be much smaller. There's a lot of discussion about the map in which the showcase takes place in. However, Gravager's Fire has confirmed that it is not a test, zombie, PvP, or open world map, so we can speculate that it's either a staging area or some sort of tutorial for new players. Thankfully, there will also be no data wipe. Instead, if items are removed like useless camos on barrels, you will get a refund. The Gen4 update, besides cleaning up code, is centered around performance improvements in order for the game to reach further audiences, such as those with more spec computers or even mobile, like mentioned earlier. Alongside this, many quality of life changes are to be eventually made. Another thing to note is that, in the screenshot that I showed at the very beginning of the video, they are working back to add many features from Operation Viper which were not present in Operation Resurgence. Like I mentioned, they've learned from Resurgence. And one last thing before we close off this video. So the stars will be having some sort of leveling system. I'm not really sure how progression will work or how stars will transfer over or anything, but it's just another thing to think about because this could definitely change a lot of things for future updates. That's all I have for today's video. I do want to thank MB Sniper, Confused Yeen, Cinia, Real Zoxic, and various others for helping me out with this video. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys another day for another video. Have a good day or good night.